Welcome to the very fourth YouTube video content thing. I'm actually, I was looking at my notes and the things I'm working on and stuff like that, and getting ready to prepare doing this 15-minute YouTube thing, and it's like, wow. Started drawing a blank. It's like, what do I want to put up? It's like, well, it can be anything, everything. I mean, damn. I don't know why these are like this, but when I was making videos just playing around for Facebook, some odd reason I'm real comfortable with that. Like, just fire from the hip and do whatever, and then put a name to it later or label it after the fact. This time I'm trying to label it first and then do a speech around whatever that label was. Pick a topic and then talk about it a little bit. So maybe let's talk some more about the law of attraction and manifestation and affirmations. Or as Napoleon Hill put it, autosuggestions, affirmations, basically the same thing. Those are interchangeable. At this point, I'm coming up to a place in life where I am coming up into some really uncharted territory that I just really cannot explain. But I'm going to try. I'm going to do my best right here, right now. Okay, if I look at what I thought I wanted 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and a little bit more than 6 years ago, it was leaning heavily on basically money, putting way too much emphasis on money. And I guess the female version of that would be putting way too emphasis on looks, on physical looks, So, but back to the male version of that thing, putting way too much emphasis on money as in a marker of what shows my value. Well, yeah, there's got to be a certain competence for earning money, using money, spending money, investing money, and stuff like that, and showing proof of that, because, I mean, we just can't do nothing. We just can't live off the land. Or can we? I think about what's coming down the pike and the way everything's changing so quickly. The entire face of the way we make money and get paychecks. I think it won't be long before those days of working for a big corporation and, these big companies and stuff like that. It's like they're being automated so quickly. I mean, the robotics, the AI, all that stuff is taking out the human task so quickly. But you know what? We still got to interchange stuff. We still got to change of hands. And there's still always going to be the hierarchy according to our levels of growth. Physical, emotional, mental, all that stuff. There's always going to be that market. Always. As far as I know. And if it doesn't, I'm sure it'll evolve into something else. But this is what I think it's evolving into. And I think it's coming down quicker than what we think. I think just 10 years up the road, 15 years up the road, 20 years up the road, by the time 2035, 2040 rolls around, AGI thing, we're all pretty much going to be responsible for we're all going to be like 1099 people. We're all going to be self-employed. It's like, I think it'll be common for so many people to be rich and fairly easy rich. I think the new millionaire is the new middle class. And I think it'll be common to see where there's like one person in a household or a mansion who's really good at selling stuff online and trading and bartering online, and necessitate, or not necessitate, but trying to use big words here, and to basically bring in the income for an entire household where there's multiple family members living under one roof, one mansion. Fathers, mothers, uncles, brothers, cousins, sisters, cousins of cousins. They're people that they've married into a household, into a cultural household, a family household. And I think that way people will be more healthier. I honestly believe it. I think we've kind of veered off in the United States somewhere after the Civil War, even before the Civil War. I think things were off. You know, that tyranny thing of using other people and programming them certain ways, bringing them up certain ways to where their mind short circuits so they can't stand up for themselves. Strong back, hard worker, but cognitive dissonance, slaves. I think them days, I think that kind of human, animalistic human hierarchy, I think those days are coming to an end pretty quickly. They really do seem that way. I think we're coming into a new level of consciousness as a human species on Earth. I honestly believe that. And I'm not sure exactly what it is. I don't know. I don't think anybody really knows. It's almost like it's a God consciousness, like a spirit of the universe consciousness. It's almost like a divinity trying to come alive through us and to live through us on this planet. But anyways, that got kind of off the wall and kind of went somewhere that I didn't see coming. Oh, this? You want to know about this? Well, it's got certain crystals in it, certain kinds of crystals in it. It's got certain color of thread. It's got certain types of herbs and plants. And each one of those are, some of them are attractants and some of them are transmitters. Some of them are receivers and some of them are transmitters. You know, some people, they think this kind of thing, this kind of witchy thing, is more of superstition or just folklore. No, I believe this kind of stuff is absolutely real. I mean, if you think about it, you look in our cell phones, it's like what the transmitters and receivers, crystals. You look in the remotes, you know, to the TV, change the channels, crystals. Same thing with this, just a little bit differently. Programmed to receive, you know, certain information and to transmit certain information within a certain area. I think this one's like the third one I've made in my entire life. That last one, that was a big one. That was transmitting and receiving from some really long distances, all the way down into what I would perceive would be Central America, down in that way. down into Florida, back up into the Midwest. And it was pretty cool. And the one before that I was using, that was actually, I can't remember if that one was programmed during the eclipse. That eclipse, I can't remember the name of the eclipse, but the eclipse happens every 67, 68 years or something or another like that, but it was programmed with that. But anyways, when you set an intention, you set an intent, and you basically have like this spell. You wear it until it falls apart, and when it falls apart and comes undone, breaks or whatever, and falls apart by itself, however that may be, then it's done. Then you know all the bases are fully loaded for whatever intent you put to it. And that's how those kind of spells work on those. So anyways, there you go. That's what it is. It's basically a spell. It's an intent. It's basically variations of, like, my God, it's hard to describe what it's to, because it's something spiritual. It's something supernatural. You know, it's nothing bad. It's nothing of the revenge type or anything like that. I'm very, very against those kind of spells, those kind of incantations and stuff like that. Those things are just very, oh my God, it's just unbelievable. I honestly believe people who do use those type of spells, those revenge spells or hex spells and things like that, in Cherokee spirituality, they have what the Esquili spirit is. And that Esquili spirit will grant you your wishes on those spells, and you'll get your results pretty damn quick. Whether you want to harm someone or mess them up or even have them maimed or whatever, or anything like that, man, well, that's bad juju. It'll come back on you pretty quick. Or it may not come back on you pretty quick, which is even worse, because the Esquili spirit will either come to collect on your sanity, they'll collect on your health, or collect on your life, or if not, all three. And that price, it does it however the price it wants to do. It could charge you way, way beyond you ever imagined, just for a little bit of revenge. But either way, it's a bad deal. And it's very real. It's very real stuff. I don't care what anybody says. I won't argue about it. I won't try to convince people whether those kind of witchy products work or not, because they do. So anyways, how we got off into the witchy stuff, but it does tie into the law of attraction, and it's way easier to make witchy stuff that's revenge type and the bad kind work easier, that type of manifestation, because that's how a lot of people's subconscious are programmed. It's like they got a lot of dents and dangs, they've got unresolved issues and stuff, emotional disorders, post-traumatic stress disorders, abandonment issues and things like that, forms of depression and all that stuff being around in their subconscious, and that just vibes so well with those revenge types of spells, and that makes them work well. So, but anyways, on the happy side of things, get those things taken care of, and get some good stuff into the subconscious, and cast some really good spells, good ones, that are for the betterment of humanity, for their heart, mind, body, and soul, for their health, the health of humanity in these transitions that we're going through these next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. You get the idea. Time's up. And that's a wrap. 15 minutes, as the rules. 15-minute videos, no longer. Because after 15 minutes, it gets into rambling, I think. And plus, people's attention spans And plus my delivery of message too might not be that entertaining. It might not be so action packed. Anyways, have a good. See you in the funny papers.